There's a moment in every legend where fate reaches out and whispers, sometimes with a roar. Picture this, a rickety cart rattling down a mountain road, the chill of morning air biting at your skin, the heavy weight of uncertainty pressing down. You don't know it yet, but this is where your story begins. Bound for execution in the quiet village of Helgen, you're just another prisoner until the sky splits open with a sound that shakes the very bones of the world. The roar of a dragon, flames rain down, chaos erupts, and in that instant, everything changes. You're no longer just a captive. You're the last Dragonborn, and destiny has been waiting for you. Where are you listening from tonight? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear where your journey into this tale begins. This isn't just another story of survival. It's a prophecy woven into the fabric of time itself, a thread pulled taut by the gods. The ancient Nords spoke of the Dragonborn, a mortal with the soul of a dragon, born to stand against the World Eater, Alduin. But prophecies are funny things. They don't unfold in scrolls or whispered legends. They happen in the choices we make, the decision to run or fight, to hide or rise. And as Helgen burns around you, that choice becomes yours. Will you flee into the unknown, or step into the flames and claim the power thrumming in your blood? What follows is more than a quest. It's an unraveling. Every step you take, every word you shout in the dragon tongue, pulls you deeper into a mystery older than the mountains. Who are you, really? Why were you chosen? And what does it mean to carry the weight of a dying world on your shoulders? This is the story of the Last Dragonborn, a tale of fire and frost, of shouts that shake the earth and whispers from long-forgotten tombs. But it's also a story about identity, about the moments that define us when the world feels like it's ending. So settle in, lean closer, because destiny doesn't knock twice. The road from Helgen is long, and the wind carries more than just the scent of pine. It hums with something older. Whispers follow you through the sleepy villages of Skyrim, tales of ancient monks who live high above the clouds, their voices strong enough to bend the world. The Greybeards, they call to you not with words, but with a force that rumbles through your bones, a summons that tugs at the dragon soul stirring inside you. And so you turn your eyes to the throat of the world, where the air is thin and the path is lined with ice and legend. Each step up the mountain is a test. The cold bites deeper than any blade, and the wind howls like a living thing, as if the mountain itself is wary of what you might become. But the climb is only the beginning. When you finally reach High Hrothgar, the silence is heavier than the snow, until the Greybeards speak. Their voices shake the stones beneath your feet, a single word thundering through the hall: Devakian. It's not just a name, it's a challenge. Master Arnger's gaze is steady as he asks the question you've been running from since Helgen. Do you understand the power you carry? The Thu'um isn't just a weapon, it's a piece of the world's making, a language woven into creation itself, and now it's yours to command. The first shout they teach you, Fuss Force, rips from your throat like a storm, sending dust and echoes swirling through the ancient halls. For the first time, you don't just hear the dragon's voice within you, you are it. But power like this isn't given lightly. The Greybeards warn you, the path of the Dragonborn is one of balance. Every shout you learn, every word of power you absorb, pulls you deeper into a war older than cities, older than empires. Alduin's shadow stretches across Skyrim, and the echoes of your destiny grow louder. The mountain has tested your body. Now the real trial begins. Will you master the voice, or will it master you? The Greybeards monastery is a place of quiet power, where the very walls hum with the weight of centuries. Here, you learn to shape your voice into something more than words, into force, into fire, into unbreakable will. Each syllable they teach you cracks the air like thunder, and with every new shout, the dragon within you stirs, restless and hungry. Yet beneath the surface of your growing strength, doubt lingers. What does it mean to wield a power that once belonged to gods and monsters? The voice is not just a weapon, it's a legacy, and the deeper you dive into its mysteries, the more you wonder, are you the heir to this power, or just its latest vessel? Then comes the dream, not the hazy flicker of sleep, but a vision so vivid it leaves your hands trembling. A sky choked with smoke, the earth splitting open like rotten fruit, and above it all, Alduin. The World Eater. His wings blot out the sun, his roar shakes the roots of the mountains, and in that moment you know, this is no distant threat. He's coming. And the Greybeards, for all their wisdom, cannot shield you from what must be done. They send you to Ustengrave, where the tomb of Jurgen Windcaller lies shrouded in mist and memory. The horn you seek isn't just a relic, it's a key, a test. Jurgen was the first to understand that the voice is more than destruction. It's discipline, patience, the balance between strength and stillness. The journey is a mirror, forcing you to confront the same question that once haunted him. Will you use this power to dominate or to serve? The Draugr that stalk those buried halls are nothing compared to the whispers in your own mind. Outside the tomb, the world feels heavier. Villages buzz with rumors, dragons circling the pale, strange lights over solitude, soldiers marching under banners you don't recognize. Skyrim is unraveling, and with every step, the weight of your role grows clearer. You are the Last Dragonborn, but what does that mean? A hero, a pawn. The line between destiny and duty blurs with each choice you make. The horn is gone when you reach it, stolen by a stranger who leaves only a note and a challenge. The trail leads you to Riverwood, to a woman who smiles like she already knows you. Delphine's words are calm, but her eyes burn with urgency. The dragons are returning, she says, and the Thalmor are watching. There are secrets here, layers upon layers, and as the pieces slide into place, one truth becomes undeniable. The Greybeards Mountain is no longer your sanctuary. The path ahead is yours to carve, with your voice, your hands, and the fire in your blood. The road to Bleak Falls Barrow winds through jagged cliffs and whispering pines, a path half buried under centuries of snow and silence. Even before you step inside, the air tastes different here, thick with the weight of old magic, the kind that lingers in the spaces between breaths. The ruins groan as you enter, stone grinding against stone, as if the mountain itself resents the intrusion. But you're not just another grave robber. Something calls you. Draugr rise from the shadows, their hollow eyes fixed on you with a recognition that chills deeper than the crypt's air. They don't attack like mindless corpses. They move with purpose, as if waiting for you, as if testing you. Every sword swing, every arrow loosed, feels like part of an ancient ritual. And then, in the deepest chamber, you see it, the word wall. The carvings glow as you approach, pulsing like a heartbeat, and the air shivers with a voice that isn't yours. Thus, the word sears itself into your mind, and suddenly, you're not just reading the wall, you're remembering it. The dragonstone is heavier than it looks, its surface etched with markings that twist under your fingertips like living things. These aren't just maps or spells, they're grave sites, burial mounds where dragons sleep. Or wait, the moment you lift it, the ground trembles, and for a heartbeat, you swear you hear wings beating against the sky. Back in Whiterun, Faringer's fascination with the stone feels too eager, too hungry. His theories about dragon resurrection spill out like a man who's just found the first piece of a puzzle he never expected to solve. But you're not thinking about his research. You're thinking about the way the Draugr looked at you, the way the word wall spoke. This isn't just about retrieving an artifact. It's about waking something up, and the deeper you dig, the more you wonder if you're the one holding the shovel, or if you're just another tool in hands much older than your own. The Jarl's gratitude is a fleeting comfort. Outside Dragon's Reach, the wind carries smoke from the western watchtower. Something's burning, and it's not just the fires below that make your skin prickle. It's the sound, distant but unmistakable, a roar that doesn't belong to any beast of this world. The Dragonstone was the first clue. Now, the real hunt begins. The western watchtower burns like a beacon against the twilight sky, its timbers groaning under dragon fire. Jarl Balgroof's voice is steady, but his grip on his sword betrays the truth. This isn't just another raid. The beast circling overhead is no mere predator. Its scales glint like rusted iron, its wings casting shadows that swallow the light whole, and when it roars, the very ground trembles, as if the earth remembers the weight of its kind. The Jarl's request isn't a plea, it's an offering, a chance to prove what you both already suspect. The guard's arrows glance off the dragon's hide like rain against stone. Swords flash, but it's not steel that will turn this tide. Something deeper stirs in your chest, a heat, a vibration, a word clawing its way up your throat. And then it erupts. Fuss, the shout tears through the air, a visible ripple of force that staggers the dragon mid-strike. For the first time, its yellowed eyes fix on you with something beyond hunger. Recognition. The battle is a blur of flame and fury. Every dodge, every counter, feels guided by something older than instinct. When your blade finally finds its mark, the dragon's death throes shake the watchtower's foundations. But the true shock comes after. As the beast's body crumbles, its essence doesn't fade, it flows. A swirling storm of light and power that rushes into you with the force of a tidal wave. Your bones hum with it, your vision whites out, and when the world snaps back into focus, the guards are staring at you like you've just rewritten the laws of nature. Whispers spread faster than the smoke. By dawn, the word Devakian hangs over Whiterun like a second sun, too bright to ignore, but not all eyes on you are filled with awe. In the shadows of the marketplace, a hooded figure slips away, carrying news to ears you don't yet know to fear. The Thalmor have long hunted those who bear the dragon blood, and the blades, what's left of them, have waited centuries for a sign like this. The dragon's soul may be yours, but its death has lit a fuse. Now, the real players are watching, and they don't intend to let history repeat itself. High above the clouds, where the air is thin enough to taste like iron, and the wind sings in a language only mountains understand, the throat of the world waits. The Greybeards' summons still hums in your bones, but the path to their master Parthernax is not one marked by stone or snow. It's a trial of patience, of breathlessness, of confronting the quiet terror that comes with standing at the edge of everything. And then you see him, perched on the jagged spine of the mountain, wings folded like old parchment, eyes burning with a wisdom that predates empires. Parthernax doesn't roar, he speaks, and the world holds its breath. His voice is a rumble deeper than the earth's core, each word weighted with millennia. Devakian, the name is an acknowledgement, a welcome, and a warning all at once. He speaks of Alduin not as a foe to be slain, but as a force of nature, a storm that must be weathered, not conquered. The way of the voice he teaches is not about domination, it's about balance. The Thu'um is a song, and to shout is to harmonize with the bones of creation itself. But his lessons carry a bitter edge. To master the voice, you must first master yourself. The dragon within you hungers for power, for chaos. Can you temper it? Or will it consume you? Delphine's words echo in your skull like a knife scraping bone. Dragons cannot be trusted. Her distrust is a living thing, sharpened by centuries of blades history, of dragon fire and broken oaths. Parthernax's past is a shadow, even he cannot outfly. He was Alduin's lieutenant once, his claws stained with the blood of mortals. But here, now, he offers something Delphine cannot, the truth. Alduin isn't just returning, he's unraveling the threads of time itself, bending the world toward an endless cycle of devouring. The dragonwren's shout, the only weapon that can wound a god, was lost for a reason. It's not a tool of victory, it's a confession of mortal weakness, a plea carved into the fabric of reality. The choice is a blade twisting in your gut. Delphine demands his death, her certainty as unyielding as the mountains. Parthernax asks only for a chance, to teach, to atone, to stand against the brother he once followed. But the Greybeard's silence is its own answer. They will not judge. This is your burden alone. The wind howls around you, carrying the scent of snow and something older, something like burning stone. Alduin's wings beat closer with every passing hour, and as you stand between the dragon who chose mercy and the woman who sees only monsters, the weight of your next step threatens to crack the mountain beneath you. The revelation comes not in words, but in the stillness between them. Alduin doesn't seek to rule, he seeks to unmake. The World Eater's return isn't conquest, it's the end of choice, of history, of the very idea of tomorrow. And suddenly, the question isn't whether Parthernax can be trusted, it's whether Skyrim can afford to lose him. The Greybeards' voices rise in a chorus only you can hear, their Thu'um weaving through the clouds like a lifeline. Devakian, the time is now, the last word lingers, heavy as a hammer stroke. Choose. Delphine's safe house smells of aged parchment and damp stone, the flickering candlelight casting shadows that twist like restless spirits. She doesn't offer you a seat. There's no time for niceties, not when the Thalmor's spies slither through every city, their ears tuned for whispers of the Dragonborn. Her fingers trace a map of Skyrim, lingering over markings that don't match any roads you know. They've been hunting you since Helgen, she says, her voice low. Not to kill you, to study you, to cage you. The Thalmor don't believe in prophecies. They believe in control, and a living, breathing dragonborn is a variable their meticulously ordered world cannot abide. Ustengrave looms ahead, its entrance half swallowed by the marsh, the air thick with the reek of rotting vegetation, and something sharper, old magic, the kind that settles in your teeth like static. The ruins groan as you descend, the weight of centuries pressing down from the moss-crusted stone. Draugr rise from the gloom, their movements too precise, too aware, as if they've been waiting for this moment, for you. The deeper you go, the louder the whispers grow, not in your ears, but in your bones. Jurgen Windcaller's tomb is no mere resting place. It's a trial. The horn isn't where it should be. In its place, a note, its edges crisp with deliberate precision. Meet me at the Sleeping Giant Inn. Come alone. Delphine's face darkens when you show her. She knows what this means. Someone else is stitching themselves into the tapestry of your fate. The blades were meant to be myth, their legacy reduced to tavern tales and children's rhymes. Yet here they are, rising from the ashes, their swords hungry for a new purpose. Sky Haven Temple awaits, its doors sealed by blood and time, your blood. The mural inside is no mere decoration. It's a chronicle, a warning, a mirror. Alduin's silhouette coils across the stone, his jaws gaping over a world engulfed in flame. But it's the smaller figures that snag your gaze, the Dragonborn, standing not as a conqueror, but as a pivot, a fulcrum between ruin and redemption. Delphine sees a weapon to be forged. Esbern sees a hope to be nurtured, and you, the walls seem to breathe around you, the ancient stone murmuring a question only you can answer. Will you wear the blade's mantle, or will you carve a path no prophecy has dared to name? The choice hums in your palms, heavy as a freshly sharpened blade. Outside, the wind carries the distant cry of a dragon. Alduin's shadow stretches longer with every passing hour. Time doesn't bend for doubt. The air in Sky Haven Temple is thick with the scent of aged stone and something sharper, the weight of centuries pressing down like an unseen hand. Alduin's wall looms before you, its carvings so deep they seem to pulse with a life of their own. Esbern's voice is hushed, reverent, as his fingers trace the grooves of dragon fire and ruin. See here, he murmurs, the World Eater's return was foretold long before the first stones of Whiterun were laid. The prophecy unfolds in jagged lines and weathered symbols, a story written in the language of doom. And at its heart, a single, desperate hope, Dragonrend. The shout isn't just a weapon, it's a paradox, a cry born from mortal frailty, a plea carved into the fabric of time itself. Where other Thu'um commands fire or force, Dragonrend does something far more terrible. It forces a dragon to understand mortality, to feel the crushing weight of an ending. Esbern's eyes gleam with something between awe and fear. The ancients created it in their darkest hour, he says, but using it, it's like holding a blade by the edge. The wall doesn't show victory, it shows sacrifice. A dragonborn standing alone, not in triumph, but in the eye of the storm. Delphine's boot heels click against the stone as she paces. The Thalmor already have spies in every city, she snaps. They're not just watching us, they're hunting, and they don't take prisoners. Her words hang in the air like smoke. The blades were meant to protect the Dragonborn, but now they are the ones needing protection. Esbern's maps are littered with red marks. Safe houses burned, contacts vanished. The Thalmor's patience is fraying, and every hour you spend deciphering ancient riddles is an hour they use to tighten the noose. The choice settles over you like armor. Trust the blades, and you gain allies forged in fire, but their war is older than you. Their grudge is etched deeper than the wall itself. Walk your own path, and you're alone against a tide of blades and whispers. Delphine doesn't ask for loyalty. She demands it. You can't outrun this, she says, her voice fraying at the edges. Alduin isn't just your enemy, he's everyone's. But the wall tells another story. In its shadow, you see not a hero, but a hinge. A point where history could swing toward salvation or annihilation. The dragonwren shout waits, patient as a grave, and as the torchlight flickers over Alduin's snarling visage, one truth burns brighter than the rest. Some doors, once opened, cannot be closed. The Thalmor are coming, the World Eater is rising, and the wall's final prophecy is just 3 words, half buried under ash and time. You are ready. The forest outside Falkreath is too quiet, the kind of silence that sets your teeth on edge. Even the wind holds its breath. Then the ambush comes not with shouts, but with the cold precision of a blade sliding between ribs. Thalmor justiciars step from the trees like ghosts, their golden armor gleaming under the filtered sunlight. Their leader doesn't bother with threats. The Dragonborn, she says, as if tasting the word for poison. You're shorter than I expected. Steel meets steel in a flurry of sparks, but it's not just swords they wield. Magic crackles in the air, searing the earth where you stood a heartbeat before. Every dodge, every counter, is a dance with death, and then a whisper of movement at your back. Delphine's dagger finds a justiciar's throat before he can finish his spell. Her eyes lock onto yours, furious and triumphant. They knew we'd be here, she snarls. Which means they're watching closer than we thought. The aftermath is a grim lesson. Scrolls plucked from the dead reveal more than just orders, they're fragments of a puzzle. Hints of a Thalmor operation, spanning every hold in Skyrim. Delphine smooths a blood-spattered page against her thigh. They're not just hunting you, she says. They're studying dragons, tracking their resurrections like scribes, tallying tax records. The implication hangs in the air, colder than the corpses at your feet. The Thalmor don't fear Alduin, they're documenting him. Back at the safe house, Delphine paces like a caged wolf. We need answers, she insists, and the Thalmor embassy is where they'll be. The plan is madness sneak into the heart of enemy territory, a place where every guard is handpicked for loyalty and lethality. But the alternative is worse, stumbling blind while the Thalmor weave a net around you. Then comes the unexpected offer. A contact in Riffin, a woman with a smirk like an unsheathed knife, claims she can get you inside, for a price. Elisif's little soiree is the perfect cover, she purrs. All those nobles tripping over their jewels, too drunk to notice an extra servant. Delphine's jaw tightens. Trusting a thief goes against every blade's instinct, but the clock is ticking, and the embassy's walls won't scale themselves. The choice is a knife's edge. Go alone and risk everything on stealth and luck, or ally with shadows, gambling that the Thalmor's gold hasn't already bought every rogue in Skyrim. Outside, the first stars blink awake. Somewhere beyond them, Alduin's wings carve through the night. and in the dark, the Thalmor watch, their quills poised over fresh parchment, waiting to inscribe your next move into their ledgers. The Thalmor embassy gleams under the pale moonlight, its spires sharp as daggers against the sky. Inside, the air is thick with the clink of crystal goblets and the murmur of false laughter nobles draped in silks, their smiles as polished as their jewels. You move among them like a shadow, the borrowed finery of a guest, itching against your skin. Every step is a gamble, one wrong glance, one slip of the tongue, and the illusion shatters. But the real danger isn't the guards patrolling the halls. It's the knowledge hidden behind locked doors, the truth they'd kill to keep buried. Elisif's party is a masterpiece of distraction. Wine flows, musicians play, and no one notices the servant who lingers too long near the study. The lock yields with a whisper, and inside, the desk is littered with scrolls, orders, stamped with the Thalmor seal, reports of dragon sightings meticulously catalogued. Then you see it, a single line, hastily scribbled as if the writer doubted their own words. Alduin's return was anticipated. The brass god stirs, let the mortals bleed. The ink bleeds into the parchment like a wound. This isn't just observation, it's orchestration. Footsteps echo in the corridor. You barely have time to stuff the documents into your coat before the door creaks open. The justiciar's eyes narrow, catching the shift in the air. You're not supposed to be here. The words are calm, but his hand is already on his dagger. What happens next is a blur, a shout, a struggle, the cold bite of steel grazing your arm as you vault through the window. The night swallows you whole, but the embassy's lights burn brighter in your wake. They'll be hunting now, and they know what you've taken. Delphine's safe house feels smaller when you spill the stolen secrets across the table. Her face goes pale. They are not just watching Alduin, she breathes. They're using him. The Thalmor's in-game unfurls like a poisoned banner. Let the dragons weaken Skyrim. Let the provinces tear themselves apart. And when the dust settles, the Aldmeri dominion will rise unchallenged. The war was never over. It was just waiting for a bigger weapon. But knowledge is a blade that cuts both ways. Now you see the threads, the Thalmor's operatives embedded in every court, their spies whispering in the ears of jarls and generals. Confront them openly, and you risk turning Skyrim's civil war into a three-way slaughter. Strike from the shadows, and you might sever their web before they feel the first tug. Delphine's fingers trace the map like a general plotting a campaign. They think they are the puppet masters, she murmurs. Time to show them what happens when the puppet cuts its own strings. Outside, the wind carries the distant echo of wings. Alduin's shadow grows longer, but the Thalmor's is darker still. The choice isn't just about tactics. It's about what kind of hero Skyrim needs. A flaming sword held high, or a knife in the dark. Either way, the game has changed, and you're the only player they didn't account for. The descent into Blackreach begins with a whisper, the groan of ancient gears, the sigh of stone yielding to time. The lift plunges downward, its chains rattling like the bones of a long-dead giant, and when the doors finally open, the air itself seems to hold its breath. Blackreach isn't just a cavern. It's a graveyard of forgotten ages. Its ceiling arched so high it might as well be the night sky, dotted with glowing blue constellations that pulse like slow, sleeping hearts. The silence here is thick, the kind that presses against your eardrums until you swear you can hear your own blood moving. Thalmor skitter in the shadows, their blind eyes somehow tracking your every step. Their claws click against the ruins of Dwemer cities, sprawling, skeletal things of brass and bronze, still humming with machinery that hasn't slept in eras. Every corner hides another horror, centurions with steam hissing from their joints, their metal limbs capable of crushing a man to pulp, Chorus hunters, their carapaces glistening with venom. And beneath it all, the faint, maddening chant of the Elder Scroll, calling to you like a half-remembered dream. The scroll itself rests atop a pedestal in the ruins of Embark, cradled by a contraption of spinning gears and levers that haven't moved in millennia. Touching it feels like dipping your fingers into a storm. The moment your skin meets the parchment, if it can even be called parchment, the world buckles. Light fractures, sound distorts, and suddenly, you're no longer in Blackreach. Time unravels around you, threads of past and future, tangling like broken spiderwebs. You stand on the slopes of the throat of the world, but the sky is wrong, cracked open like an egg, bleeding fire. Alduin looms above, his wings blotting out the sun, his roar shaking the roots of the mountain. And there, facing him, three figures with voices like thunder. The tongues, they shout not in challenge, but in grief, in fury, in desperation. The words tear from their throats, raw and bleeding, and you feel them in your marrow. Jor Zafrul. Mortal, finite, temporary. Alduin screams as the shout hits him, not with force, but with understanding. The horror of an ending, the weight of a doom he cannot escape. The vision shatters like glass, and you're back in Blackreach, your hands trembling, your throat burning as if you've been the one shouting. The knowledge settles into you like a wound. Dragonrend isn't just a weapon, it's a curse, a piece of mortal suffering given voice, and now it's yours to wield. The climb back to the surface feels longer than the descent. The scroll weighs nothing in your pack, and yet it drags at you, humming with secrets no mortal was meant to know. The Thalmor's shrieks fade behind you, but their echoes linger, mixing with the memory of Alduin's rage. You've seen the World Eater broken. Now comes the harder question. Can you break him again? The climb to the throat of the world feels different this time. The wind doesn't sing. It keens, sharp as a blade against your skin, and the snow underfoot crunches like broken bones. Parthernax waits where he always has, perched on the edge of eternity, his wings folded tight against the cold. But there's no wisdom in his gaze today, only resignation. He already knows why you've come. Delphine's words still hiss in your memory. He helped burn villages to the ground. He watched children scream in the ashes. How many lives is one dragon's repentance worth? Her voice had cracked like whip leather, her hands clenched around the hilt of her sword. The blades were forged to slay dragons, not bargain with them. To her, this isn't justice, it's overdue cleanup. Yet the Greybeard's silence is louder. Arnger's voice, when it finally comes, is softer than snowfall. The way of the voice teaches balance, not vengeance. They don't defend Parthernax's past. They don't have to. Every shout he taught you, every moment of patience he showed, is its own argument. But philosophy doesn't erase bloodstains. Parthernax doesn't flinch when you step forward. Devakian, he rumbles, the word heavy with the weight of millennia. You have the right. I would not stop you. His breath curls in the frigid air, and for the first time, you notice how old he looks, not like a monster, but like a relic, something worn down by time and regret. The fire in his belly has cooled to embers. The blade in your hand feels suddenly foreign. Killing a dragon should be a triumph, a roar of defiance, but this is an execution. Every instinct screams that it's wrong, not because he doesn't deserve it, but because it changes nothing. Alduin still flies, the world still bleeds. And you'd be trading a teacher for a corpse. But then Parthernax speaks again, his voice so quiet it's almost lost in the wind. What is better, to be born good, or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? The question hangs between you, sharp as the mountain's peak. Delphine sees a villain, the Greybeards see a student, but you see the flicker of something rare, a monster who chose, against every instinct, to be better. The throat of the world holds its breath. Somewhere below, Skyrim waits, unaware that its fate hinges on a single choice: mercy or justice, forgiveness or fire. The wind howls, but it's your voice that will echo here today. And when you finally speak, the mountain itself seems to lean closer, listening. Sovngarde's mist curls around your ankles like a living thing, thick and silver as molten moonlight. The air here tastes of mead and iron, of battles long past and those yet to come. The bridge stretches ahead, its stones worn smooth by the tread of countless heroes, and beyond it, the Hall of Valor, its golden light bleeding through the fog like a promise. But this is no welcoming feast. The shadows stir, and from the mist steps a figure clad in ancient Nordic armor, his axe gleaming with the memory of 1,000 kills. You dare tread here, mortal. Soon's voice booms, not with anger, but with the weight of judgment. Sovngarde is not for the living. The challenge isn't fought with steel alone. Soon's blows are heavy as falling mountains, each strike a test of more than strength, of will, of purpose. When you finally stand panting before him, his laughter shakes the heavens. Well struck, Dragonborn. Shore's hall awaits, but the words ring hollow as you step forward. The mist doesn't part. It thickens, coiling around you like a serpent, whispering doubts in voices you thought you'd forgotten. Are you truly the one? A specter hisses, its face shifting between strangers and friends, all wearing the same hollow-eyed stare, or just another fool chasing glory. Then the fog breaks. The Hall of Valor rises before you, its doors flung wide, the roar of revelry spilling out like blood from a wound. Inside, the greatest warriors of Skyrim's history raise their cups in salute, but their cheers die as you enter. The silence is worse than any battle cry. Ustengrave himself steps forward, his eyes twin chips of ice. You carry the doom of the world on your back, little Devakian. Prove you're worthy to bear it. The feast hall dissolves. Suddenly, you're standing on a ledge overlooking a sea of mist, Alduin's silhouette circling above like a vulture over carrion. The fallen heroes of Sovngarde form a ring around you, their weapons drawn, not in threat, but in grim solidarity. The World Eater fears you, Hakon One Eye growls. But fear alone won't crack his scales. The first shout tears from your throat, unbidden, Jor Zafral, and Alduin shrieks as the words strike him like a spear. He crashes to the ground, the impact sending tremors through the mist. But this isn't the end. It's the beginning of the oldest dance in creation. Predator and prey, god and mortal, fire, and the hands that dare to snuff it. The battle rages, not in flashes of steel, but in bursts of Thu'um, the very air splitting with each syllable. Alduin's wings buffet you with gale force winds, his jaws snapping close enough to taste the heat of his breath. And then, a lull, a heartbeat of stillness. The mist clears just enough to reveal the faces of the fallen, their eyes locked on you. Gormlaith Golden Hilt raises her sword in silent salute. Feldir the Old murmurs a prayer, and in that moment you understand. This isn't your fight alone. It never was. The Dragonborn is just the spark. Sovngarde is the kindling. With a final collective roar, the heroes charge, their spectral blades flashing like lightning. Alduin rears back, his defiance crumbling under the weight of 1,000 untold stories. Your voice rises above the chaos, one last shout ripping through the chaos. Fus Ro Da, and the force of it doesn't just stagger Alduin, it unravels him. His scales blacken and curl like parchment in a fire, his form dissolving into ash and howling wind. The mist lifts. Sovngarde is silent. Soon stands at the bridge once more, but this time his axe is lowered. The World Eater is gone, he says, as if he can scarcely believe it. But you do not belong here yet. The words are a dismissal, but also a gift. The hall's light dims behind you as the portal home yawns open, its pull irresistible. One last look over your shoulder. The heroes are already returning to their feast, their laughter rising like smoke. They'll sing of this day, but Skyrim still needs you. The wind outside High Hrothgar is biting, the stars sharper than you remember. Parthernax is gone. Whether by your hand or his own choice, the mountain won't say. The Greybeards bow as you pass, their silence heavier than any praise. Down in the valley, the lights of Whiterun flicker like distant campfires. The world feels smaller now. Or maybe you're just seeing it clearly for the first time. Alduin is dead, the dragons are free, and the weight in your chest isn't triumph. It's the quiet, terrifying knowledge that from this moment on, every choice is yours alone. Somewhere, a new shadow stirs, but that's a tale for another day. The sky above Sovngarde churns like a storm-tossed sea, the air thick with the scent of burning embers and something older, the metallic tang of time itself unraveling. Alduin's wings carve through the mist, each beat sending tremors through the hall of Valor's golden foundations. The ancient Nord heroes stand beside you, their spectral blades gleaming with the light of 1,000 forgotten battles. Gormlaith's laughter rings out, sharp and bright. Come, dragon, let's see if your teeth are as sharp as your pride. The battle isn't fought with steel alone. It's a clash of voices, of wills. Your thumb crashes against Alduin's like tidal waves against a cliff. Fus Ro Da, the force of it sending cracks, spider webbing through the ground beneath him. But the World Eater doesn't stagger. He laughs, a sound like mountains grinding to dust. You think yourself mighty, Devakian. I am the firstborn. I am the end. His retaliating shout isn't just sound. It's the weight of inevitability, the crushing certainty of a world consumed. Feldir the Old's voice cuts through the chaos, his words steady as a heartbeat. Now, while his guard is broken, the trio of ancient tongues move as one, their voices weaving together into a single, searing command, Jor Zafral. The words strike Alduin like a spear through the chest. For the first time, his wings falter. His roar isn't defiance, it's pain, the curse of mortality, forced upon a being who never knew fear, never imagined an ending. You don't hesitate. The final shout tears from your throat, raw and bloody, every syllable scorching your lungs. Devakian, Hin Ka Fen Kaspanar. The dragon's soul shudders, his form flickering like a candle in a gale, and then silence. Alduin's body fractures, not into flesh and bone, but into strands of light, unraveling like a tapestry cut from its frame. The mist drinks him greedily, leaving only echoes behind. The heroes lower their weapons. Hakon One Eye claps a hand on your shoulder, his grip heavy as history. Well fought, kinsman. Skyrim will sing of this day, but the hall's jubilation feels distant. Sovngarde's mist swirls where Alduin stood, restless, unfinished. Soon's voice rumbles like distant thunder. The World Eater is banished, not destroyed. Some hungers cannot be killed, only delayed. Back on the throat of the world, the sky is clear. Too clear. The Greybeards' voices are hushed, their eyes turned upward as if waiting for the stars to blink. Parthernax's absence is a hole in the mountain song. The blades will call it victory. The scholars will write it into history. But you feel it in the stillness. The way the wind hesitates before touching your skin. The way the dragons you've spared tilt their heads when you pass, as if listening for a voice only they can hear. Alduin is gone, but endings are never simple. The Nords have a saying, when the World Eater dies, his shadow grows longer. Down in the valley, a child points to the sky, whispering of a dark shape circling the peaks. The villagers laugh it off. You don't, because you know better than anyone. Some prophecies don't end. They just change shape. The roads of Skyrim feel different after Sovngarde. The cobblestones underfoot, once just a path from one adventure to the next, now hum with the weight of what you've done. Villagers stop mid-sentence when you pass, their whispers trailing behind you like smoke. Devakian, no longer a question, but a certainty. In Whiterun, the mead flows freely, and songs about the World Eaters fall already spill from the bard's lips, but the celebrations taste bittersweet. You've saved the world, yet the world doesn't feel saved. It feels waiting. Delphine finds you at the Sleeping Giant Inn, her usual sharpness softened by something like awe. The blades have a purpose again, she says, tapping the table between you with a freshly forged dagger. And it's not just hunting dragons, it's protecting what you've built. Her vision is clear, a new order with you at its head. The offer hangs in the air, heavy as a crown, but Esperon's silence speaks louder. His eyes flick to the map on the wall, where Thalmor sigils cluster like ticks. They haven't stopped watching, he murmurs, and now they know exactly what you're capable of. High Hrothgar offers no easy answers either. Arngeir greets you with a bow so deep it aches. The voice is yours to wield, he says, but mastery is a lifetime's work. The Greybeards don't ask you to stay. They don't need to. The mountain silence is its own plea, a call to study, to reflect, to temper the fire in your blood with wisdom. But when you glance at Parthernax's empty perch, the lesson stings. Some choices can't be unmade. Then there's the quiet, those moments between the cheers and the council, when you're alone with the horizon. The dragons you spared still circle the peaks, their roars echoing like questions. Do they see you as their lord, their kin, or just a temporary storm they've learned to weather? And the Thalmor, their absence is louder than any ambush. No missives, no threats, just the prickle on your neck when you spot an envoy's gold robes in a crowded market. The Jarls, of course, have their own ideas. Elisif's court in solitude buzzes with talk of a united Skyrim, with you as its champion. Ulfric's gruff nod in Windhelm carries the same unspoken weight. Power shifts like sand, and every hand seems eager to place yours on the scale. But the real choice isn't about thrones or titles. It's in the way a child in Riverwood tugs your sleeve, eyes wide, asking if it's true you shouted a dragon out of the sky. It's in the way the innkeeper at the Bannered Mare refuses your coin, pressing a fresh loaf of bread into your hands instead. For saving us, she says, as if it's that simple. Legends don't end with the slaying of the monster. They linger in the spaces between the stories told over hearth fires, the roads walked without fanfare, the quiet certainty that the world is different because you were in it. So where does the Dragonborn go when the prophecy is spent? Perhaps the answer isn't in the grand gestures, but in the small ones. The bandit camp, cleared without a bounty. The word wall stumbled upon by accident, its power humming under your fingertips. The dragon that lands before you, not in challenge, but in something like respect. Skyrim breathes easier now, but it hasn't forgotten how to bleed. The blades sharpen their swords, the Greybeards whisper into the wind, and the Thalmor. They're patient, they can afford to be, because destiny might be done with you, but you're not done with it. Not yet. The steps to High Hrothgar feel steeper now, each stone worn smooth by centuries of pilgrims, and by your own boots, climbing and descending, climbing again. The wind carries memories. The first time you stumbled breathless into the courtyard, all wide eyes and shaking limbs. The hours spent wrestling with the Greybeards' lessons, your throat raw from shouting syllables that refuse to bend to your will. Today, the mountain greets you with silence. No thunderous Devakian shakes the snow from the peaks. Only the creak of ancient hinges as the heavy doors swing open, revealing Arnger's bowed head. You've come full circle, he says, as if he's been waiting. The meditation garden is empty. No scaled bulk blots out the sun where Parthernax once perched, his wings rustling like parchment in the wind. But his absence isn't quiet, it hums, a chord struck too hard and left vibrating. Kneeling where he once taught you to temper fire with breath, you press your palm to the frost-rimed stone. The question he asked lingers like a scar. What is better, to be born good, or to overcome evil through great effort? The answer feels heavier now. You've seen the cost of both. Alduin, who never questioned his nature, the blades who carved theirs into dogma, Delphine's certainty, Esbern's faith, Ulfric's fury, all certain they were right, all paying in blood for the privilege. A whisper of movement behind you. Arnger stands at the garden's edge, his robe catching the light like fresh snowfall. The voice does not belong to us, he murmurs. We are only its vessels. The admission hangs between you, fragile as an icicle. The Greybeards spent lifetimes mastering the Thu'um, yet they never sought to bend the world with it. Their power was in restraint. Yours was in the opposite, in shouting dragons from the sky, in splitting the seams of time to steal knowledge from the gods themselves. Who is wiser? The mountain doesn't judge, it only echoes. Below, the valleys of Skyrim sprawl like a tapestry Whiterun's proud walls, the jagged scar of the rift, the distant glint of Solitude's towers. From here, the civil war seems small, the dragons mere specks against the clouds, but the weight in your chest isn't the altitude, it's the knowing. You could walk away now, hang your sword over a hearth, Let the songs and stories grow taller than the truth. No one would blame you, no one but the voice inside, the one that still thrums with words unspoken, power unchanneled. Arnger's hand rests on your shoulder, lighter than a bird's wing. The path is yours to walk, Devakian, but remember, a storm does not ask where it must rage. It simply is. The old man smiles then, the first time you've seen such a thing. Be the storm, or be the stillness after, but choose. The descent is always harder than the climb. Your boots scatter pebbles that skitter down the steps, each one a tiny avalanche. At the base of the mountain, you pause. The road forks, left to Riverwood, where it all began, right to the pale glint of the Sea of Ghosts, and whatever lies beyond. The wind carries the scent of pine, and something sharper, something like lightning about to strike. You take a breath. The first word of a new shout burns in your lungs, waiting.